Emma or enjoy privilege. Ever catch as a privilege a stress. And one is saying I mean kwasia sama kwakwa. If you just move here chaba catch if you near move here na kind of say so one can so be my mama. Abofunu. What by a number that a testing go woman me crana if you would them no person but that would need them. But don't to buy squatters. Huh? A choir of us who call law school, a choir of us here in my enemy now. Massa, and maybe I will come apart and get you. A dija, eh, time my near dear cry, and near who day at one part, no money can pray. A quabi don't know to our no yak as some near to trust them. Then they real nest, our American or Saniska. Okodi drug dealer here, and not all a Chrysler man, so talk Cavano. And now, one so did the use ready near. And I didn't say we buy. Onya, the young kola. We've been through, we've done that. When we're doing some freaking shit for the party. And my party, no, a brabo, Indian inside to a party. You see, can you hold the Hermano? A Kamano Fiona. You want me sick because of this party. Never pay a bone watch me. They can watch your own call you to 23. Out is your bono. Double money Zoe was one man, Nipper to the first time I ever got arrested because we could find my 1.8 million cities, 1991. And the brain I'll catch it. And I remember go because you of Boise gold Konongo gold mines because my mom had equipment at Konongo gold mines and Boise gold mines. The number of chances in this what you see no main funny crown to. We gave it to the government. We made boys are bread. I started Invisible Forces, Delta Forces. I said Delta. What do you call it? What's the name of the company? The eye traded down with Truman, Savannah, all these guys. We started things. Nothing happened. Oroku, at a week, number 3 spending over $35,000 for the party. And you'll be a sicko. I never went to anybody for money. These elections, last minute, scam me say no. Obedient me and mommy capre. Because the love of the party was the love of Kufado. And Kofobi, I am my so much of Chobi. Obi to be spending 2.3 million a year. Whatever he spends is his own cup of tea. Master, we want Ghana to succeed. Now, your brain would boys are bread. We are going to organize a demonstration for the foot soldiers. I just almost boys are bread. I go for bread. Oh, the campaign. Chow my phone, a executive, so would you since 92, and then you won't be crying. And these people, they know us by name. Sometimes no more titi power, and no more for some more to me. No, be anymore. We be maybe a movie. Can you train that? Couldn't want to movie in a mobile. No, and understand me. Yo, we are going to do what is right for Ghana and what is right for the party. So, Mokuye or Munkuye. We try to or chitney. We try to or 2-4. The air cost the air time. And what sort of greediness? The money was able to Monsugo about tending sour ship. Sabi, I'm a who to that baby. I before go to Domoko. Who have about me? Sabi, young trouble for Domoko. Now, would you achieve for the achievement watch? And then. I bet, yeah, who to me bread. Now, I'll to say one first yam for ya contract na go pe baby ya aden kofu aban hwe hu ye o atamno so aban ye hu ye to mahama aban ye hu ye na o hwe Jerry Jones aban ye hu ye Ghana was for all of us mudi niema tutu ye chese mudidi company ba ku bia okroma you say kosu bia wonim ho you very be your spread bonds or more point than they get what we call your spread. How can somebody do a deal so called
me pesa utie program no utie we free
na mo do da ma mo gida ba from
me pesa utie anadwi de ye wo so me pesa utie na ma ho comment ye wo so
so ochimai that's a everyone near foco and ochimai not one single thing the one you have to do one idea me ni abrofo ko chebi abrofo na so mu sha me ne say again the president I much by now so the next term of it and also what is the guarantee say the next term if you ever for the one next term why you share much by that thing you will come see me and carry on the book most of one we hear no ma masemo mo na fofo mo tu mo shugo abotan ya sawa she must ya pray mo ku ya mo ku ye ka I'm in June, and I have watched that go for that one year. I'm not go for that. But I'm platform we so and then may benefit. That shall be a show. Young Mamma Kuyan Ghana by see, I should near my failures who are. Why show for that to be in and I prefer to be in over the but we are leaving a legacy for our children. We won't let you guys destroy us because of your selfish ambitions and goals.
enti senka adidija ma nkasa ansem we nyina be pia bonten Ghana fo se adidija nya ne muna ne nama nkasa nneema we nyina no ebeba bonten hey Nana Akufo-Addo onhwe bibi ye o echina we sisei ade echia we sisei eye ono ane chese me amom de menyini bebre ba menhu niema bebre sei mama mobile bankofo kasa ba sa ne hofo pa beba bonten abekeka nsem sei oya Maria oye Akufo-Addo ni busuani ohwe we ya ohwe nsem bi a abusuafo ne kan di Akufo-Addo nko na ye president asa I don't know asa e bi o ma form kata bi o mo mpese enkofo be hu niema a ye koso menti ase uti abrante asema wokan a yesa wa bre party no wa yusu ni sika odi akirache obi a 1992 otimi kofa ni sika 1 point something na ma sika de na yesa opani wa bre party ni ho pa ase nipa ketewa bi na edidi amanfo e complaini endimna me bisa se de edikan we se edidija amamu a nka we be pia na den sunti na sa ne ma we nyina ekoso wa ban mu na chese obi anya na dwen se chese wo ye omunua kura ibe we kire se we tiere ye mi se di so wo ho amsere we kire se chese nkofo na ye kum one ade ni nyina no eye nokure o tie di abrante yi ka Maria matie ne da o se ye threaten we so ye threaten angosi ba bia wo de tie asem o ke
They will fuck me up. fear me. I have the recording. That can say if I do, they will put a bullet in my head. But he knows about nobody said anything. Not a person. They made the case life. When somebody threatened my life and threatened my brother's life, what sort of government? When did we start governing people? When did people who were supposed to stand for freedom, rights, integrity, and credibility start fighting people? What the hell are we talking about? This is Ghana. This is Ghana. I'm ready to stand up against everybody. So I just want to say my word or one day. I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for Ghana. And I'm what is my word. I chill for me. I know the Osei, the operators, and then I chill for or Chitaku when one the Mokubi. There was a time when my brothers and other things started talking. They claimed that I was the one behind it. I wasn't the one behind it, but this time my name is into Nanaya Wachina Ofreta. Shortly into Ofreta, I am talking. We know those are money with money, when mama but we know everything. Now they move on and pay it. Move on here, Japan, when they are chim for one bush. Now, some phone, no one to women in your sound.
Yeah.
And I praise the value of the gold in Ghana. You did it at $1 billion. The original appraisal was about 6 point something billion dollars. I'm not going to say $1 trillion. Every appointment that is going on in this cabinet is connected to one person. The ministers, everything is connected. Hey, what's that? Whatever inferiority or whatever complexes you guys have, and yet, kind of motivating more. The things you guys couldn't do it for all your life, you are trying to use it 5 years or 8 years to achieve everything. And then, you're great. And then I can't hear better.
Yeah, Samu. Zedi.
Pato, nyamite.
What you asam ambranti kan eye adidija. Ana ama na ika say ana Ghana ho adadwene eno ye number 1, number 2. Na say enkofo nsema wo mu ka nyina say aban yi hurahura yen aban nipakum ne ma ekoso edu ba bi eso asojafo no kura koye sa na omunye resources ne ade wo hwa ya threaten Mary family no mu ankasa Papa wo hwa dem pa na ana wo hwa aban yi a enkofo e ka ho nsem ono ankasa ne twetwomutwo na busuafo ankasa na eba abonten e ka nema e koso wo ti asese ana wo hu se
Abidi, no two back at the in Zambia, Asamu. Now, I don't understand what is going on. I haven't studied it properly. But I'm assuming if you are Samu. Now, but when you say Siano, it is critical. I mean, we knew Morocco, but we also know that there's a few cabal. We also know that they take their time and they are very, very punitive. Let me make a jump up there. That your short, Ron is back at that short man. Or be kind of new law certificate. This is the end of the fortune chain. After all, Bill Gates, on University. When we university, it's a dropout. Virgin Atlantic is a dropout. Sometimes, no, if you need to achieve anything, you also have to study the people you are working with very carefully. And we have to, as a society, build a resilience against those people. If you are party, and if you look at the party like NDC, which is a great opposition party, it's as if they are sleeping on the job. And it seems that they are following old methodology of 20, 30 years ago. They cannot outthink Akufo-Addo and his people.
Enura papa men ma already see parliament. Just in fact Ghana pa ira ho papa. I am nese me wire husa.
They cannot seem to outthink him. And
Hey,
baby, there is a beautiful Fosuba. Now some of them, the whole party membership of NDC, so they are attacking you. Instead of saying, listen, this is where we are. Because of this, and this, this party has to change to be this, and this in order to conquer him. NDC is not prepared to change. And as long as they're not prepared to change, maybe the MPP is going for another 4 years, whether they like it or not. NDC has to change. They have to be radical. They have to be socialist. There's no point Mahama, as he came to the UK before the 2016 election. Over there, socialism is dead. Now we are social democrat. If you look at NDC, we're so. The policy that Munia Boris Johnson is implementing now is the same policy that got your friend then Jeremy Corbyn wanted to implement. Jeremy Corbyn said tax at 26%. Now this Tory government is doing tax at 25%. When Jeremy Corbyn said it, people were laughing at him. Jeremy Corbyn's policy is what Boris Johnson is carrying out. The only problem in the British establishment room, Labour gets a policy, Labour loses the election, and the Tory implements it. Because if Labour implements it, they feel that people get socialist ideas in their head. Indeed, Abano is very clever. And what I'm paying forward to in my nature, they are very clever. They take Labour policies and give it to Conservatives to implement. Instead, Boris Johnson, his policies are socialist. Look at this fellow. A lot of his people say don't follow. He followed. Jeremy Corbyn would have done it. Instead, and nobody complained from the left or right. The Tory party is called. That is why Labour is finding it difficult to gain foothold against Boris Johnson, because Boris Johnson is carrying the policies of Jeremy Corbyn. In Ghana, instead of NDC to be what it stands for, if he says in Nkrumah, Martin Brigade, and they don't like Nkrumah. What part of policies of NDC is Nkrumah? Oh, me, when I don't want to talk too much. Either NDC want to follow Nkrumah, NDC should destroy itself as a party because it's not going to go anywhere. NDC must take this very, very seriously. Either, I always say this is the issue of Sagama building that will be. If NDC had followed what Atemus implemented, Atemus had Tony Addo as budget.
Hey, Zaman and Joe were here, Tony Addo, or what can some move? Why you don't see
Put Tony Addo as controller of projects. We spent 250 million. We couldn't even build 100 houses for our own friend and NPP food soldiers. And we spent 250 million. And people are still in the party are trying to justify their food soldiers.
Let's say, Tony Addo or him, Tony Addo or him.
My brother, project Diano, there's overspending it. Me, British company, big company, yeah, project, big property project. Some project that's 1 million and I'll be in 3 to 4 million overspend. Into my brother, that project overspending, we can't say, no, yeah, chrono and now or BB, but the philosophy and the policies of adoption, you must understand the outcome. What we are not trying to do, in your contract, care contract, you spend 250 million, you building for one toilet and bathroom ready for somebody to move. Why? You paint too nice as a election here. My brother, you see, listen, you are fighting a man like Akufo-Addo, who organ is detailed, is calculated. Now you say half-measured approach. You agree with you. And now his project will be a mobile. He doesn't think about total consequences. Indeed, Yeah, commander, is the case baby, when you say, why blame Akufado? In 1 year, you see factory, why don't you make sure the sugar plantation is ready to supply the factory? When you started the project, what did you to put things in place? You do have hearted projects, major. You see some of the schools are, it's a case it will take buses, people 10 miles from nowhere. Let's say a school. Oh, my brother, we can't blame everything on MPP. Let's look at our make sure that it even doesn't benefit anybody. It benefits some NDC if put through this. At least MPP is one at least they will do some and benefit some. Yes, a lot of people are talking. A lot of people, as they talk now, I'm sure the party will look at satisfying them. And that is what this party tends to do. There. When MPP fight too much, me, it doesn't worry me. Kennedy Japan. Okay, your contract. What's the contract meant? Now, NDC people are nice people. NPP people are nice people.
Where the papa ni nua ni twetwo mutwo tie de oka.
Miss there. Ebusu bi akọ. Ma me busu ma akọ, ma nyenko fa akọ. Ye ebusu bi akọ. Ma me nyu nua no makoda. I'm sure the while nyu nua no makoda. Say na fine. Yinya yeti en wase. Nti if you ask no baby akọ say unsatisfied and now should be unsatisfied. I'm sure they all okay. They will satisfy him. That is the nature of
Na ba bi adria o de adria ba bonten ne ade dey say kura dey so almost satisfy no kura enko ba bia.
My brother, Midi, I always say this. Okay? In the America once the America woman is there. Do people sacrifice their life for politicians? Because Bible now Qatar and what's not what's this week. You want to know world. My brother, Midi, I've said this over and over and over again. Obirokwan. Yenti asomnuye. Na yamfa nyama tutuye. Amazing. My philosophy in life, if I was a prime minister of Ghana, a president of Ghana, even the policies adopted by both NDC and NPP in 100 years on Ghana and Kesibe, I will tell you plainly, and I keep saying this. In certain cases, people don't believe me. Al-Wahab is the man. A lot of what I've been saying, he's saying to yourself, you cannot create jobs if you don't have money. Now, if you are a country that you go and borrow money even to pay your government workers, what are you going to do? Yet every year, we prospect and give licenses, gold, to foreign companies. We pay $1 million. Now, what's there? Wako to gold, and then come and declare yourself how much you have taken and give the government share to people. What meet an order telling you how much gold they are collecting? What meet an order showing there? Every gold is accounted for. Ghana is losing $6 billion a year. We don't need to borrow money from anywhere. You paying for one drink, not greedy. You know about it. All these Galamsey people are doing. What is the purpose? A bank should take control and mind the thing. The money goes to the bank. A bank used to develop the area that they are destroying. They should get something. And then the whole Ghana should get something. But this I'm saying, big political parties in way. Look at your friend one then Ashanti regional party chairman in Kumasi urban radio down
to me
or to go they show. Gold, where they don't keep it in Ghana, they don't develop Ghana. What is going to develop Ghana? He used it to pay party people to keep himself in power. Which road is going to be going to construct? No, I don't bring to be a road because he's not alone, and it's unfair to call him alone. But there are other people also in Ghana, both NDC and PP, big boys. What the ones can you have a shabuchi? Now you're saying you're saying $6 billion every year. No government has taken the opportunity. And this thing started sometime before at the news time in cool down. Now how many times in 2013, 14, it became a mushroom item. And yet at the time we were going to IMF to borrow money. And when I say this, people think I hate people. I'm sorry. We don't have a political class that can think. Magufuli did more in his 5 years that Akufo NDC NPP have done for the last 10 years. 5 years for NPP, 5 years for NDC. Yes. Or say 8 to 9 years. Yes. The Magufuli did more. He didn't borrow a penny. And yet he did more. How did Magufuli do it? He didn't borrow a penny. And he did more. Inter people are suspicious of him in his death. Ma KB Asante wrote an article. And I met KB Asante in the 2016 election. The day the election was declared, I was in Honorable KB Asante. I was talking to him. He came here and gave a talk. And he gave a talk in July 2016. War High Commission Ghana, a Highgate. Not Highgate, Highgate. Never, yes. And he said, why is the government, even under Muhammad at that time, borrowing so much money? It was dangerous. Akufo-Addo has taken it to some stupid level. Also there, and he gave an answer. KB Asante, the Honorable Principal of Nkrumah, he gave an answer. Also there, he he's also from Scanberry Olympia. One night, also near a baby, into Onya, there will be bubble in his man. Now, when you go to Marco, one from 8 o'clock. Okay, it's man 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock, so you die. Into what is the person trying to tell you? Open on your ear that because it didn't get it. You see, and over there, KB Asante, I was there myself. There were about 50 people, Caribbeans, and Ghanaians, Caribbeans, and Nigerians. So now I would say, okay, plain. KB Asante also came. I will say this: the reason why Nkrumah declared one-party state was because he wanted to employ people who are qualified to do some job. And whenever he employed people who think are qualified, people say this people doesn't belong to the party. He said he suspected.
Okay, I feel I'm a chance here, but not just say, you know, a party back for there, and a part to win who part to win who, even you.
Exactly. Nkrumah one-party state, there's a party there you are, then everybody can employ who I want, and then the Africa can develop. Them Nanko here, what you do, Nkrumah? Papa, some I don't want to say man papa and oh, sometimes no one. Some of them are dead, some of them are alive. But even 20 years ago, papa no into Orco or yes, into Orco baby, I mean or Christian young old boys association 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I mean a young penny for command from TV. Now from me, we will co-opt you as a young member. We wouldn't walk and command in command and before you put them to take a car. That was that Friday. His friends became my friends. Even today, most of my friends were at a nursing school, but I new classmate, 1 hour taxi. Some of them are my friends. Because sometimes I communicate with them. I don't know who wants way to move for. Waiting in Chile. They are my mother's age, what tomorrow. But when you talk to these people, this opportunity, I'm the mama, IMF. That is why we couldn't do anything. Then what's the okay to give you money? We have to borrow from us, and then we have to come in and then do the things. Everything you have to buy from us. If you buy everything from us and do infrastructure, how are you developing the economy of Ghana for Ghanaians? How? When you build a street now, apart from cement, everything, iron rod, sometimes even I've heard of this house thing in Settlement. The people gave it $200 million. They said they have to put their own contractors to do it. The own people have to come and do it, the condition of the loan. That's be that. Yeah, in Ghana. That is why they formed an unemployed association under Mahama. Now, NDC to begin. What common sense are we bringing to the table? Apart from same old. MPP, the meeting, more MPP, they are, as Ronnie said, they are comfortable with the people they are. And NDC cannot pretend. Ronnie said that in Cape Coast. Let us not forget, Central Declaration. Let us not forget, Ronnie's 2016 Congress in Cape Coast. What's it there? NPP people are comfortable with the party. Yeah, party of the rich. What bad? Rich people don't benefit one. What's the crowd of poor people? NDC should not try to be that kind of party. And then NDC said we're not socialists. You are what? A Democrat in America. So what are your policies? So what is your policies of social intervention against NPP? Are you that different?
And you born a tough and ya sorry.
Maybe Namotu Makani there. Money, of course, we're wasting the time. On you coffee bean can, I know there's a few cabal whopping with more, but I'm sure there, knowing me, I could probably reach to this man who I'm a leader. May that is what I suspect. But when yes, sir, it will count against them. But more importantly, NDC is the one that has to come up with policies and ideas because to overtake this NPP government. NDC need to rebrand and reinvent itself and rebrand itself on the principles to which it claims it was founded: probity and accountability. This is what Atta Mills tried to implement, and this is what Mahama has to go back to, because all this segment, what do you call it, the sugar factory now.
Commander.
If that commander, if somebody was looking at it like Tornado was there, that at the news.
Nasani pano when Tornado or Hefa.
Oh, means me or no, Ambassador of Holland. Maybe I don't know where he's now, maybe in Ghana or wherever. If those policies had been, if that position for a tough man like Tornado to invest it, to interrogate every project before it went ahead, so it's called the value for money and everything was done. In fact, this is not the embarrassment we are going through.
That man was a strong power, Dr. Tornado.
This is not the embarrassment we'll be going through in NDC. And it is a mistake. It's about time NDC people own up to this mistake and correct itself. Because Ghana Fabre, we don't want another NPP. Hey, I don't want to hear that NPP is stealing 100 cities. But when NDC come in, they only steal 40 cities. That is not what I don't want to hear. People say, oh, NDC will be a secretary, NDC will be more. My brother, every time you will be in Sikano, you can obre. What's the word to me? We'll be borrowing 100 pounds. Now, cafe, no use, oh, I know we 100 pounds, don't cover 40 pounds. You are down by 140 pounds. Oh, yo.
You are born a tough and
we need the round off in the year. We need things to be better. We need to bring back probity, accountability. We need to look at the constitution where we can make it more efficient for people to do better. We needed to make sure that when people threaten you like this, we can have traceability where you can go, because you no phone was the phone number, no phone. You cannot get a phone number in Ghana without your friend and ID details. It's one or whoever did. We need somewhere where somebody.
So we will have the threatening and a Ghana will be threatening na anko babiano.
Mr. There, Ghana to get a SIM card you have to register.
Yes. So when you pakro na abana so ninu yanum so omonka ho hwe. Eno na yi awa odi no.
My brother, now make sure there. We know who threatens because every has a number. If somebody threatens you, can go to they should set up an ombudsman where the person can be dealt with because of this threat being made. The same way, if you go on Twitter, and I should be a Ruben threatening, the police can come and arrest you because even your Twitter now, the computer number, IP address that you send a message on, they can pick it up and they can find out who was the person who logged in at the time and trace it to you. If some people can hide it, but still they can trace it to the country or wherever. You see, my brother, we need to put those things in place so that people can have a decent life and a good, happy life, so that people don't have to live under threat. And when we don't live under threat and we're able to speak our mind and act appropriately with responsibility and fairness to all us, in no time, people who will be easy. But more importantly, Ghana government should not be licensing mines to any foreigner. They should do themselves, borrow money, hire the people to dig the gold, take whatever they are getting and use it to fund the country. Not go to the begging bowl to a Abrofuna, no, they don't move in. You Jim every yet Sicado, so we are starving. Yet Sicado, so you're going to borrow. What will you borrow? Now they can't say that we are racist. But when you're there, why no one in your correct? But what do one can't show you?
That's eja na nyambo chana na me frɛ sa mo ba na akate me frɛ wa ndi nyambo a ochina no ye betwa programs ndi nyame nka ho na omo ho ban na wadwempa na oma unim de no enkosoro nyame nhyira yo atiefo amza plan ITV ni na anadwi anasa anadwi ye de nsem papa sei a emu hwam ebrew yɛhwɛ aberanteɛ yi a ɔkasa ya wotumi sɛ biribi ya ne ya nti na ɔkasa so ɔn deɛ ɔyɛ busuani o ɔn deɛ ɔyɛ nanado twetwomutwo nanado na wɔfa ase ankasa na wohwɛ sɛ deɛ ɔkasa a wotumi sɛ ɔkasa wɔ yɛwdie mu wotie aberanteɛ no nsɛm a ɔka no a in fact ɛyɛ didigya nso animuna ne nam hwɛ ɔno koraa na ɔkɔsɛɛ ne sika millions of dollars or started from 92 na 92 bi ɔse otumi kɔfa ne maame sika 1 point something million ɛde kɔhyɛ party mu no wotumi sɛ ɛno na nɔpa meka sɛ na awia meka sɛ ɛyɛ a moma ya nsusu mfa yakoma nyina ngura party mu wei koraa no ne wɔfa ne nua mpɔn asɛ ne wɔfa hwɛ deɛ ɛkɔ so nanado deɛ meka nyina no sɛ minim sɛ baabi a wo bia no woyɛ MPP ni a wobɛte deɛ meka deɛ odi4 pamago meka no sɛ ɛyɛ ayɛ dodo wɔ nanado amamu Mary ɔyɛ wo faase o ɔwɔ London kroma ɛno sɛ mo trete no nsɛm ɔmoka wei nso hwɛ nsɛm a wɔka ɔmo trete no kyɛ sɛ yɛpɛ no koraa yi na firi hɔ nanado adan dɛn nko a na ɛkɔ so nanado owani na ho nanado mowani na ho nanado mowani na ho sɛdeɛ wo fa ase ne ka no ebedu baabi kura no wanhwɛ yi a woyɛ ofori ataase ni ana wofiri akyema enya de abenya Ghana president adi wofiri akyema wonya Ghana president ni da ma Canada akyɛ ma kato sɛdeɛ nanado president a wo set ne nneɛma a woyɛ no wanhwɛ yi wofiri akyema woyɛ Addo ofori atase ni ana woyɛ danko ase ni a wonya Ghana banyu antena so da monhwɛ saa de ni yi obanyansafo yebunube yenka nasɛm mesrɛm MPP fo monhwɛ yi na mo nsɛm ɛdɔɔso mo ankasa mo nuanom nsɛm mo de ba abɔnten ɛdɔɔso nya bibi amamu nko an yehu amamu bebre nya nanado amamu nko an yehu wote ase Lawrence by John Mess by George Kumkufo by Yewra Mama by nanado wonko adan mesrɛ wo hwɛ yi toto wakwan yi because one hwɛ yi na wokɔfie a wobɛgye wani so na menka tiefo nyina ho na mo nyina mo ban na mo bo ɔkyena odi4 pamago me de wo bi a me de bebrem na menka mo ho da